Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening to episode 2 of Shy Girl Sentiments, and I'm your host, Erin Alexandria, so let's get into it. So this past weekend, I got locked out of my apartment on Friday night, so that sucked. I was locked out for like an hour and a half. I had plans, and so I was unable to do that because I couldn't get in my apartment to change. So that had me in a down mood a little bit, but yesterday was really fun because I got to go to dinner with some family who are going to be in town for a little bit, so that was fun. And I also ran into a friend that I met on the internet. Shout out to Cece. It's so funny, I saw her walking down the stairs and I was eating already and I was like, oh my gosh, Cece. So that was really fun. I love when I meet people IRL that I've been friends with online because I'm just like, wow, you're actually real. Anyways, so that was that. So let's get into rapid fire hot topics. So our first topic is Hailey and Justin Bieber. So Hailey Bieber's dad, Stephen Baldwin, posted on social media saying to pray for Justin and Hailey. He actually reposted a video of Justin Bieber singing and playing guitar to a Christian spiritual song, and the person who originally shared the post was a pastor, or is a pastor. And then several hours later, or a few hours later, paparazzi saw Justin and Hailey Bieber going to their church home. So they used to previously go to their church Hillsong. However, there was a really big controversy with that. There's a documentary on Hulu that goes all into that and all the stuff that was going on in that church. So they now have a new non-denominational church. A lot of people think that Justin and Hailey Bieber are in a cult. I personally don't think that, but I do think that some non-denominational churches have cult-like characteristics. So hopefully they're good. And of course, people being the invasive people they are, they're like, oh my gosh, what if Hailey had a miscarriage? I'm like, y'all want this girl to be pregnant so bad. Like, why do y'all keep speculating that Hailey is pregnant? Like, I don't understand. So that's that. Sadly, there was another lawsuit that came out alleging that Diddy sexually assaulted someone else. This person is a male. This is the first male that has come out with a lawsuit. Other men have speaking out about this, but this is, I believe, the first lawsuit from a man, and he was a producer that worked on Diddy's last album, Love. So that'll be interesting to see what comes of that. With some of the other lawsuits, he has settled and paid. Like, I believe Cassie's lawsuit was the first big lawsuit that came out, and I believe he settled either later on that day or the next day. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't believe that he has spoken out about this one, but I am not sure. So Sydney Sweeney hosted, Sydney Sweeney hosted SNL last night, and in her opening monologue, she addressed rumors about her and Glenn Powell during the filming of their rom-com Anyone But You. A lot of people thought they were having an affair. At the time, Glenn Powell had a girlfriend, and Sydney Sweeney either had a fiance or was married already. She was like, he's the man of my dreams, and he's here tonight. And then you think that they're going to pan over and show her partner, but they actually show Glenn Powell. So that was very funny. I did not stay up to watch SNL. I was going back and forth deciding if I was going to stay up, but I decided against it. And this morning I saw a few of the skits, and they just were not it. And a lot of people in the comments were going in on the writers, being like, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all need new writers. And personally, I tune in usually for the musical guests, and then if it's someone that I really love that's hosting, I will stay up and watch it. And I really like Weekend Update. I'm sorry, I think Colin Jost is so cute. But anyways, that's that. Raven-Symoné teased a potential new Cheetah Girls project. She did an interview with Entertainment Tonight, and she sang along to some of the songs, and she also said, like, looking forward to the future of that. And the interviewer was like, what? You can't just leave us hanging. And she's like, all I said was, I'm just looking forward to the future of that. So yes, she could be hinting that we are going to get a new Cheetah Girls project in the future. And I actually made a video about this on TikTok and Reels, and when I posted it on Reels, I tagged everyone. I tagged Adrienne Bailon, who played Chanel. I tagged Keely Williams, who played Aqua, Sabrina Bryant, who played Dorinda, and Raven, who played Galleria. And Adrienne Bailon actually liked my video. So I'm like, okay, is this her way of saying that we're onto something, that we're going to get a new Cheetah Girls project? I'm not sure, but it would be super fun. We also had The Devil Wears Prada reunion at the SAG Awards last Saturday. Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, and Emily Blunt presented an award, and they referenced some quotes from the movie, and yeah, so that was fun to see them on stage together. So the Devil Wears Prada fans got a little bit of crumbs from them. Sam Smith actually walked in the Vivienne Westwood show for one of the fashion shows, and y'all need to look up their look. Like, they were basically wearing a diaper with stilettos. It was a lot going on. And a walking stick. And then they also changed into a black dress attire. And I'm saying they because Sam Smith came out as non-binary a few years ago. Cher and her boyfriend Alexander Edwards, aka AE, are still going strong. If you did not know, they have about a 40-year age gap between them. So Cher is 77, I believe, and her boyfriend AE is in his late 30s. I knew that she was with someone who was younger, but I was like, dang, that's a big age gap. Lastly, Rihanna did a performance at a pre-wedding in India. She performed a 40-minute long set. She performed most of her hits. I saw a few videos. She looked pretty good and seemed like she had a good time performing. And then after, she stayed around a little bit, and there was a video of her dancing with someone I'm assuming was the bride. So it looks like she had a fun time over there. And yeah, she was also paid $6 million to perform. So of course she's going to come out of retirement to perform. I'm sorry, I'm not sure when the new album's coming out for the Rihanna stans, but I'm gonna say it right now, don't hold your breath. And that is it for our rapid fire topics. So let's get into the deep dives of the show. So today we are going to be talking about Love is Blind updates and Joe Jonas and his new girlfriend, Stormi Bree. So let's start off with the, I guess, most popular topic, and that is Love is Blind. So if you're not caught up on Love is Blind, I believe we had 2 new episodes that came out this week. Please skip ahead to the next segment. My mom and I were struggling watching these 2 episodes, because they were not the most exciting. Like, they had a little bit of drama in each episode, but other than that, it was kind of a snooze fest. So basically, the key takeaways is that Amy and Johnny, they are the most solid couple. Their main issue or challenge in their relationship was the whole birth control thing, because Amy had not been on birth control before. She kind of said that Johnny could get a vasectomy, but then in this episode, he was very transparent and was like, I actually didn't know everything that went into a vasectomy, so that is just not going to be an option. And so Amy was kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to start looking into birth control options, because she wants, you know, to be able to have a physical and intimate relationship with her husband. So that's basically that on their front. And then also Johnny met her dad, and he asked for his blessing to marry his daughter, and he said yes. So not really much drama. Like I said, they're the most solid couple. So as far as AD and Clay met AD's mom, and yes, so AD's father passed away a few years ago. But yeah, so Clay is still on his soapbox of him worried about cheating and his fears of cheating. Like, he even told the mom that, and she kind of was just like, why do you keep on bringing up your parents' relationship history? Like, their relationship history does not have anything to do with you going to cheat. Like, for whatever reason, he thinks that just because he saw his dad cheat a lot, that he is going to cheat. Like, yes, I guess from a psychological standpoint, it's like, you do what you've seen, but it's like, if you're cognizant about it and you know you don't want to cheat, like, no one is going to make you cheat. Like, no one is being like, Clay, cheat, Clay, cheat, Clay, cheat. But he just cannot get that out of his head, that thought that he was going to cheat on her. So I'm not sure if he can move past that. So, of course, the Jeremy and Laura and Sarah Ann of it all. So Jeremy ended up having a long conversation with Sarah Ann at like 4 in the morning, and Laura knew that they talked. Of course, she was upset, and so we don't see them until a party. The cast had a party meetup, and it was the couples who are currently still together had a meetup, but then also previous cast members came. And so Sarah Ann was there, and we see Laura and Jeremy talk, and Laura's just like, we haven't talked in 3 days. We haven't seen each other in 4 days. I'm assuming after they had that, I wouldn't even say a fight, she was just upset with him that he went to go see Sarah Ann. And even when he told his mom, she was just like, yikes, kind of like, I would not be happy if I was dating you. So she definitely seems like she was on Laura's side without saying she was on Laura's side. So yeah, that was that. They break up. Laura has some choice words for Jeremy. She is like, I hope you kick rocks with open-toed shoes. That's all I can remember her saying, but she was going in on him. And yeah, so then she kind of was like, okay, why aren't you upset, basically, because he was just treating the party like it was a hangout, not that it was time for him to mend his potential relationship with Laura. So then he goes to talk to Sarah Ann, and then they end up like going to ride jet skis. I'm just like, okay, like not the time or the place, but go off, I guess. So that's that. Laura is bitter kind of for the rest of the day. Also, Jess comes to the party. She talks to Jimmy. Of course, Chelsea is kind of freaking out. Jess tells Jimmy that she still kind of has feelings for him. Jimmy basically says that Jess was still his number one, which doesn't make sense because he chose Chelsea. So it's like, how is this other girl that you haven't really spent time with your number one? Like, make it make sense. So there is that, and Jimmy was like, you scare me. It was just a lot of them, I guess, processing their feelings and that there's no bad blood. So yeah, there's that. And then the night before, Chelsea and Jimmy get into this big fight because Jimmy decides to show face at one of his friends' birthday parties. I believe it was a friend's girlfriend's birthday party, I believe. Or maybe one of his friends or mutual friend, I don't know. But he was like, I just need to show my face. So Chelsea comes back and she's like, why were you gone? And like, you were gone for too long. He was like, I was literally gone for like an hour and a half, and a lot of that time was driving to and from where the place was. And she's just like, well, I feel like you lied to me because you said you didn't drink and go out in the pods. And he's like, no, like, I social drink. Like, it's really pretty much like cocktails and wine. Like, I'm not a heavy drinker, I'm a social drinker. Like, I want to go out with my friends. And she's like, well, you need to stay home because I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. And I'm just like, what? You don't want to, like, you don't want to go out to dinner? You don't want to go out for a drink? Like, I don't drink, but even her being like, you can't go out. And then she's like, oh, Mackenzie told me she saw you. And he was like, okay, well, I don't know what Mackenzie looks like. So yeah, I guess she saw me, but like, I don't know what she looks like. And she was like, I know you were with Jess. And Jimmy's like, what? Jess wasn't even there. And he's like, I know you were with Jess. She was like, I know you were with Jess. Like, just admit it, you were with Jess. And he's just like, huh? And then also, it's important to note, she had been drinking when he was gone. So at this point, she's kind of drunk when they're having this whole conversation. So it's kind of ironic that she's upset with him for going out drinking with his friends when she's the one at home drunk when they're trying to have a productive conversation. She also tells him that she does not want him to hang out with his girlfriends, and he was basically like, that is a non-negotiable for me. Like, I'm still going to hang out with my girlfriends. And then it comes out that he had hooked up with one of his girlfriends in the past. And so Chelsea's like, well, I don't want you to hang out with her. And he was just like, like, I am still gonna hang out with my friends, whether you like it or not. And so they basically broke up for the night, and then the next day they kind of, I guess, were fine, and they went to the like party. So I still don't know how that's gonna go. It's very clear that Jimmy does not like Chelsea. So, but after that, they went and made ice sculptures for their wedding. So that's that. We have 3 couples left: AD and Clay, Amy and Johnny, and Jimmy and Chelsea. I feel like, honestly, Amy and Johnny are going to be the only ones to get engaged, but time will tell. I believe the wedding episode is coming up this coming week. So that is that for the Love is Blind recap. Second deep dive topic is no other than Joe Jonas and his girlfriend Stormi Bree. Yeah, so if you were unaware, Joe Jonas has a new girlfriend, the first person he has dated, or at least the first person he has publicly dated since his kind of nasty divorce with his wife, Sophie Turner. She was born and raised in Crossville, Tennessee, and even won the Miss Tennessee Teen USA pageant in 2008. Her father, Kip Henley, gained fame himself as the winner of the Big Break 2 on the Golf Channel in 2004. I've literally never heard of that. In 2011, Bree auditioned for season 10 of American Idol with Father Can You Hear Me. That is an interesting song to choose. If you don't know, that song is featured in a Tyler Perry movie. I believe it is Medea's Family Reunion, so that was kind of random. Wasn't expecting that. But was cut after appearing in one episode and making it through to Hollywood Week. However, Bree persisted in her music career and even ventured into producing her own music. She joined the band EGLY in 2012, which was signed to Chris Brown's recording label, CBE. However, by 2016, she had gone solo and was working on her own EP, as well as producing for singer Emmy. Though she was creating songs for other people, Bree said she wasn't worried about running out of creative ideas for herself as well. So it came out in January that the two of them were hanging out. They were seen about to board a flight on a private plane. And at first I was like, I don't know. I just thought it might have been someone that one of his friends was dating. I don't know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. The first time Joe and Stormi were spotted together was in the airport in Los Cabos, Mexico on January 4th, 2024. The two of them, along with a group of their friends, boarded a private jet to Aspen, Colorado. In the next few days, the group enjoyed time skiing on the snowy slopes and grabbing dinner at Casa Tua, an Italian restaurant in the city. During that time, fans noticed that Bree posted a photo on her Instagram story wearing a beanie that Joe previously worn. She has been traveling with them for the past couple of weeks, and yes, I'm kind of jealous. I am a Nick girl, but I don't know, something just does not sit right with me. And so I believe before their first show in Sydney, they all went on a boat trip, like a boat outing, and of course she posted photos and videos of her on the boat. Joe, I believe, also posted a photo of the water, and so did Nick. Like, Nick and her stories kind of matched up almost perfectly. So it was kind of like the jig is up. Like, y'all just post each other already. Like, I'm tired. And then even before they went back on tour, they would post photos of New York, and I don't think Joe posted them on his main page because I went back and I tried to find the photos. She posted a photo dump on her main page, and I believe he posted photos on his story. The Jonas Brothers are back on tour, and so before that they played a couple of one-off shows in Oklahoma. She posted photos of her in Oklahoma. She is soft launching the heck out of their relationship. Like, I honestly feel like celebrities do not need to soft launch their relationship, because there's this thing called the paparazzi, and they will spot you, and some celebrity gossip or news magazine will pick it up, and we will see that y'all are together. So you do not have to drop hints for us. Like, y'all are not fooling us. And I just think it's funny because she probably got an influx of followers since all the Jonas girlies like me are nosy. Also, she's been wearing his clothes. They were wearing the same belt. They've been wearing the same jacket. So yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. And also, I was thinking about this, that yes, like Joe and Nick have dated before when they're in the spotlight, but when they're really like dating someone seriously, they weren't like, they weren't together. Like they weren't in constantly in the public, like they weren't on tour. So we weren't really seeing them actively date. So I just think that's really interesting, because before they broke up in 2013, they kind of kept their relationship and dating life on the hush hush. Like Nick dated Miley, Joe dated Taylor and Demi and a few other women, and Gigi Hadid, but we didn't really see much of them. And then Nick had a serious relationship with Olivia Culpo. Yes, Olivia Culpo, who is dating, I believe, Christian McCaffrey from the San Francisco 49ers, but he dated her for a while, and that was during his solo Nick era. So that was also kind of different. And then when Joe started dating and when he married Sophie, he was also in his like solo Joe DNC era. So they just like weren't in the limelight as much. So I think it is interesting to see like Joe date and us kind of being like, like when are they gonna post each other? Like I said, the jig is up. Like, just post each other. We all know that you're together. At this point, it is annoying. The Jonas Brothers played in Australia for the first time a couple of days ago. I believe they had 2 shows in Sydney, and she, of course, was with them, which I just think is so interesting, because if they've been dating since, I don't know, like, I want to say give him the benefit of the doubt, and they started dating around the holidays, it's kind of like quick for her to be traveling literally all around the world with them. But you know what? What do I know? She's a model, she's a celeb, so I guess she can do whatever she wants to do. Though it is interesting to note that she has a daughter. Stormi welcomed her first child, Gravity Blue Smith, on July 26, 2017. Her ex-boyfriend is named Lucky Blue Smith. The two announced their daughter's arrival with a sweet black and white photo of them cuddling with the newborn. They actually kind of look like siblings. Like, have y'all seen that social media page, Siblings Are Dating? It shows her on social media, but I did notice earlier when she first started posting her, she would show her face, but now she just posts photos of videos of the back of her head. I don't know when that change was made, but I do think it's interesting because Joe does not post his daughters at all. Joe Jonas has 2 girls with his ex-wife, Sophie Turner. Sophie Turner didn't really post that much when she was pregnant. She doesn't post the kids either. So I wonder if he was like, hey, maybe you shouldn't post your daughter's face. I'm not sure, but it is interesting because Kevin posts his daughters all the time. Like, I don't know if there was any time where he didn't post his daughters. So that's just an interesting comparison, because Nick also does not post his daughter Malty Marie's face. If he does post her face, it's always like a side, like you don't see her face like full on. I mean, I kind of see her and Joe Jonas because she seems very artsy. Like she shared a video of her making pottery, and Joe is very artsy, and they both seem kind of like whimsical and kind of like, I wouldn't use the word quirky, but they just kind of seem like out there in their own worlds. So I mean, maybe, but I'm not sure if this will be Joe's forever person just because he is coming out of a divorce. Like I said, to my knowledge, we don't know that he's dated anyone else. But you know what? He could have dated someone else. So this girl might not actually be the rebound. But I don't know. I guess time will tell. So maybe sometime in the late spring, early summer, we will get a photo of the 2 of them. I don't know. I am anxiously waiting, and I just wish she would stop soft launching, because girl, we know you're with the mans. So anyways, so that is it for our deep dive. What I am looking forward to, Ariana Grande's album comes out this Friday. By the time I record the next episode, I would have hopefully listened to the whole album. I am so excited. The album is called, I should know, it's called Eternal Sunshine. And it is releasing on Friday. I am very excited for her new album because it's Ari. I have gone to all of her tours. I feel like she's one of the only artists that I've seen all of her tours besides, actually no, Demi Lovato, I have not seen all of her tours, but Ariana Grande, The first time I saw her, she opened up for Justin Bieber on his Believe tour. I saw her on the Honeymoon Avenue tour. I saw her on whatever tour. Oh, Dangerous Woman tour, if that's what the tour was called. I should know, but I can't remember. I saw her on that tour. I saw you on the Thank You Next tour. So I've seen her. I am lucky. I am blessed to say that I have seen her at all of her shows. So I am super excited. I have to admit, I was not a big fan of Yes and. I'm very much into her more like R&B songs like Sweetener and Thank You Next. I'm sorry, I don't know if she'll ever be able to beat those albums for me, because like the house and like Vogue music just isn't really my thing. But you know what, I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm hoping that something is better than Yes and, because I honestly don't like that show. I mean, it's a cute little like ride around in your car type song, but as far as like the deep cuts, I need the deep cuts. And I'm hoping that she has a song with The Weeknd, because I'm sorry, I need them to make a joint album ASAP, because all of their songs that they do, Love Me Harder, Save Your Tears, Off the Table, I feel like I'm missing one. They are just, whenever they come together to make music, it is chef's kiss. I need them to do a 2088 move like Big Sean and Jhené Aiko. Though it would be different because Big Sean and Jhené Aiko dated, or they are dating. They have a son. Yes, they have a son. And obviously Ariana Grande and The Weeknd are not dating. But I just need a joint album ASAP, because that's just what the people need. And last but not least, I'm excited to see all of the things that are going to be in store for this Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month, if you did not know. And the Academy Awards are finally here. They are this Sunday. They're actually at a new time. They're usually at 8 o'clock, but they start at 7 p.m. Eastern time and 4 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I'm not sure if they're saying, okay, it's going to be 4 hours long or it's only going to be 3 hours. I'm hoping for the latter, because your girl is worn out from awards season. I had to make myself watch the SAG Awards, and luckily it was only 2 hours because it was on Netflix. There was no commercials. So praise God for that. So I'm looking forward to the fashion, of course, and the moments. And then luckily, since it is the Academy Awards, there's going to be nominations for Best Song. So we will get a few performances. I believe Billie Eilish is going to be performing with her brother Phineas, and I am blanking on the other people that will be performing. But I'm so excited because most of the award shows that we have in the first half of the year, or the first few months of the year, like during like film award season, there are no musical performances because it's film, which makes sense. So it kind of makes it a little boring when, you know, we don't get performances. So I'm excited to see what is in store for the Academy Awards, the Oscars. There's always going to be a viral moment. And I cannot talk about the Academy Awards, the Oscars, without talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. I'm sorry, that will always come up in the Academy Award Oscars conversation, because that was just so unexpected, so spontaneous, so unpredictable. All of the things. Like, who would have ever thought that Will Smith would have walked up there and slapped Chris Rock? Not me. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we all know where we were when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. And it's sad that, like, Black people, it's just kind of like, okay, here goes Black people violent and have anger issues. Kind of wild to me that Will Smith actually laughed at the joke before he went up to slap Chris Rock. So it's kind of like, huh? Why'd you do that? Needless to say, it'll be interesting to see when Will Smith will be invited back to the Oscars. I believe that is a TBD. But I'm sure whenever he steps foot at the Oscars, the jokes will be flying. The jokes will be flying by whoever is hosting that year and the presenters. I don't know. So actually, while I'm here, let's look at who are the presenters. All right, so if you noticed, I I'm recording on my camera. I kind of did an impulse buy yesterday because I was like, you know what? Last week was a fail trying to video record on my iPhone. Like, I don't know, they say you can record up to like 3 hours of footage, but it kept on just like stopping, and obviously there's not like a flip mirror screen on the iPhone, so I could not tell when like this recording stopped. So I was like, I know for a fact that I want to post on YouTube, so I was like, I need to get a camera. I need to get a good but inexpensive camera. So of course I went on the internet and looked, and I got this little Sony, it's advertised as a vlogger camera. I don't consider myself a vlogger, but it is convenient because I can see myself in the little screen, but I'm trying not to look at myself because I would not be looking at the camera. So hopefully throughout this video I was looking at the camera screen and not my face like I am looking now. So the first round of presenters that they announced last week was Mahershala Ali, Nicolas Cage, Jamie Lee Curtis, Brendan Fraser, Jessica Lange, Matthew McConaughey, Lupita Nyong'o, Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer, Ke Huy Quan, Sam Rockwell, Michelle Yeoh, and Zendaya. The second round of presenters are Bad Bunny, Chris Hemsworth, Dwayne Johnson, Michael Keaton, Regina King, Jennifer Lawrence, Kate McKinnon, Rita Moreno, John Mulaney, Catherine O'Hara, Octavia Spencer, and Rami Youssef. So I feel like this is a good list of presenters. We got a lot of diversity, and just a reminder, Jimmy Kimmel is hosting. He personally is not my favorite person. Like, I'm kind of indifferent. Like, I wasn't like, ooh, Jimmy Kimmel. I prefer Jimmy Fallon, but that's neither here nor there. So I am excited to watch the red carpet, everything. So I probably will potentially record 2 episodes next week. One will be coming out on Sunday, so before the Oscars, and then potentially another episode midweek to do a post-Oscars rundown of outfits, awards, all that jazz. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. As always, you can follow me over on my socials. On Instagram, you can follow me at both Shy Girl Sentiments and Shy Girl Sentiments Pod. On Twitter or X, you can follow me at That Shy Girl Erin, and on YouTube, you could subscribe to Shy Girl Sentiments. Make sure you click that bell to notify you when I have new videos. And then lastly, certainly not least, you can follow me on Twitter at Shy Girl Sentiments. Thanks so much for listening. I hope y'all have a great week. Bye.